Because the samples showed well in both silver and gold, he decided to give Pearsall and Peabody a grub stake of $150 to return to the valley and locate as many claims as possible, gather more samples, and report back as to their findings. In addition, the men agreed that Pearsall and Peabody would each be entitled to 1/8 of whatever the property earned, with Wilmans receiving the remaining 3/4. The two prospectors' shares were each bonded for the sum of $7,500, thus they were assured of receiving at least the amount for their efforts. The venture was to be kept strictly confidential to prevent news of the find leaking into the community and possibly triggering a gold rush. Such an event might very well cause a stampede into the remote area, and that, of course, would not be to the economic interest of the men presently involved. Newly outfitted Pearsall and Peabody headed back into the mountains. Meanwhile, Wilmans, realizing the necessity for additional capital in the venture, related the discovery in confidence to two Seattle friends, Thomas E. Wing and George W. Grayson, were wealthy mining investors of some experience, and for this guarded information, Wilmans extracted the sum of $75. Still quite feverish, Wilmans embarked for San Francisco on his way to Arizona. His condition did not improve and the trip was canceled. Instead, he went home to Park City, Utah, leaving word that Pearsall and Peabody were to report to him that as to what they had achieved. Wilmans then wrote to his older brother, Fred, his oftentimes partner in mining ventures, about experiences and findings in Washington Territory, and discussed the possibility of his brother involving in the new venture. Meanwhile, Pearsall and Peabody had returned to the valley and staked two claims along and adjacent to the outcrop with the glittering paste streak. Because the first one was located on July 4th, the property was named Independence of 1776, but this was quickly shortened to Independent of 76 and finally to 76. The name was also given to the creek in the valley through which it flowed. The second claim, located the next day on an outcrop parallel to the 76, was named Glacier. Shortly after their supplies were nearly exhausted, Pearsall and Peabody recorded the claims at Sonoma City, then made their way back to the Seattle. Upon arriving, they sent a report to Park City, where Wilmans was waiting.